Just knocked me camera over with me weight. Try that again. I haven't even gotten set up yet. And David's straight into a fish. Is that little codling? Little red cod. Let's have a look at that. It's a good start of the day. Nice.
In the couple, something.
David takes the lead. There it is. Got that lovely kind of bluey pattern on it as well. Yeah, nice. Well done. Right, let's get us casted out. Hopefully catch a nice kelpie. So I've got 2 rods with us today. I'm going to put one further out, and then I'm going to put the other one much closer in, just in these kelp beds which are running along the side. Right, so the second rod, it's just the same setup, Sonic Black with a 7000 size reel on it, and I'm using a pulley system, just plain lead, and I've got lug and mussel on there, so just the tiniest of lobs. There's a gully runs out here, so I imagine that's continues straight out that way. Hopefully there's some fish in it. That's the gully, which I was saying, so that runs straight out. So I've just, like I say, the second rod is just over there, just past that bit kelp, and the other one's quite a bit further out. It's forecast to get up to about 20 degrees today. It's just crazy weather, so it doesn't know what it wants to do. It's the 17th of September. Just take a layer off. I'm getting tiny little bounces on both rods here. I don't know if you can. I'm getting attacked by wasps here. Go away. I hate wasps. I freak us out. I've been still getting little taps on both rods. I don't want little taps, I want big douche. That looked like a nice bite. Don't know if I caught that on camera, but there's a nice thump on the end of the rod. Yeah. I'll put it down again. Oh, I've got a nest in me. Oh, no, bugger. I've got to get, I'll show you. My line's gone all skew-iff. Oh, it's not what I need. Right, so something I've just started to use is a bait needle. And I only got it because David asked us to get him one from the shop. So I thought, well, I'll pick one up myself and see what it's all about. So what you're doing is you're just threading your black lug onto the needle, which putting it onto a straight point is much easier than putting it onto a hook. It almost just goes straight through the worm itself. So that's 2 big black lugs on there. And then this end of the needle, you'll not be able to see it, but it's got a tiny little hole in it. And what you can do with that is you just put the hook point into the little hole, if you can get it in. Oh, yeah, that's it. And then once that's into there, you just push the worm up, and it basically just goes, ooh, well, yeah. It pushes the worm just straight onto your hook. Oh, something else I've tried as well is I've moved the reel further down the rod. I moved it down by, it was probably about 4 or 5 inches. So just somebody suggested trying that. So yeah, I'll give it a go, see if it makes much difference. Nearly just pulled the rod out of his hands before. Yes. It's been quiet for a while, so nice for somebody to get a fish on. That's not a monster, but it's bigger than the last one. It's a better fish. Dark as well, isn't it? Yeah. Ow! Oh, my thumb. Yeah, very nice. Just getting a hook in the end of my finger. That was a bit painful. Not recommended. Right, we're going to shift because the tide's coming up quite quickly. So we're just going to go skip round there and onto this big bit here because we'll be able to fish off the top of there for a good 2 or 3 hours. Just the job. So what I've done is on the hook length this time, I have, obviously there's a hook there, but about 7 inches up, I've put a crimp and a bead so that that worm can't go any further up the hook than the bead. So it kind of holds it in place nicely. I don't know if that'll pick up on the camera or not, but see where the red buoy is, and I said I was casting just to the right of it. You can see there's a seal just popped up right above where my weight is. So we're moved off just that little point here. See, it's almost submerged now. It's 11:30. That made him jump, didn't it? And move the rods further up the rocks. I think I just had a little nibble on that rod there. So I'll get this one in first. Oh, well, that's just snapped completely, that. What happened there? Where's it snapped? No, it is, I think it's just snapped on the rock ledge there. Yeah, it has. There must be a sharp ledge just there. Oh well. We'll have to get that swapped over. Got a new weight on it. I'm going to go right down to the bottom here. And I'm going to chuck it as far as I can, but I'm going to go slightly left this time because I didn't have much luck with that last caster there. I'm going to give it a good welt as well. So kind of like to the left that way. Now I can just walk the rod all the way back up here and fish from the top. If I get a fish on, I'll just be able to walk down to pull it in. They're pretty close to my line there, like. You know, it just missed the line. I feel all fingers and thumbs today, but I'm sorted. I've got that on. I'm going to chuck this one just a little bit further out because I think it must have gotten stuck on the shelf or something on the last cast when it snapped off. So I'm going to cast it the same distance but just a bit further. Oh. I keep forgetting this has only got so much line on. I've just casted every inch of that line out. I had to stop it. There's now left on the spool. There's not much left on that one, to be honest with you. But this one, it doesn't hold much line at all. Have a cup of tea. I feel knackered. I feel like I've never stopped. But I feel as if I haven't really been, I don't know, it just feels like I haven't been very efficient. I don't know if it's because I'm using 2 rods and I'm constantly clotting around with rigs and baits. But I've got the 2 rods out now, so I'll just keep on like that. Hopefully, things might settle down a bit now. Hopefully I might get a fish as well. So a little bit closer in. I just hope I don't get snapped off again on that ledge. I think if I don't get anything on these baits that I'm about to put out, then I might downsize the hooks to a 2.0, because I have had some bites on this rod but it just didn't hook up. So maybe going down hook size might be a sensible option. Give me your fish. I promise I'll put it back. I say that quite a lot, don't I? Most of the time I do put it back. But once in a while it's not possible. And you have to take them home and fill your belly. So I'm going to put the second rod just into the gully and see if there's any fish coming really close in. So I'll just chuck this in really just down here, because you never know, they might be right under your feet. So I'm just going to put that into the middle of there like that. And then the other one, I'm going to cast it right out. Now the reason I've done that is because there's not really much room out there, because there's 2 gullies, two skiers, one here goes out and one on the other side, so there's not much room in the middle. So what I'm going to do is, with the big rod, I'm going to cast it right out as far as I can in line with that gully, so that when I'm winding in, it comes, if I get a big fish on, I can bring it in the gully rather than having to bring it up over the rocks. So that's the plan. And I have got those smaller hooks on now. So that's the bait on the rod that's going further out. It's a nice big mixed bait of lug and squid, but with that smaller size hook, a 2.0 hook on the bottom. And that might help us to hook into a smaller fish. And hopefully it'll get us off the blank. It's definitely a place that you need to come when the water's at low water, because it just looks so different, and it'll be so easy to be fishing in the wrong place. Yay! I haven't blanked. It's one of those lovely little fish, the ones that quite often save the blanks, the little spiny scorpion fish. So there we go. Tiny little thing. I'm pretty sure you can't get stung by these, but I'm still going to put a glove on because they're a little bit kind of gooey. I don't think these are poisonous. Could you let us know, just so that I'm absolutely sure, rather than just guessing? Give us me hook. We'll go. So just tiny little googly-eyed fish, which I'll call these, because that's what they are. He doesn't look very happy at being caught. He's got a bit of a frown on. I'll get him back in. Oh, what happened there? Oh, man. It's not going well, is it? My weight just flew off. How's that happened? It's a day of disasters. Oh, what a calamity. I honestly just feel as if I've just been sorting tackle out today. Just been one of them days. Right, take 2. Hopefully this one won't bugger up. I must have just not tied the knot properly or something. So it just came away completely. Right, here we go. So do you prefer to use one rod, or are you happy using 2? I think nighttime fishing I'll always just use the one. So I have to say this baiting needle has come into its own when I'm working with smaller, gooier worms, because that would be a nightmare to put onto the hook. But this just kind of like goes right through the middle of it and comes out the bottom. So there's 4 like small gooey worms on there, and not much mess on my hands. If I'd have tried putting them on the hook, it would have been a pretty messy, well, it would have just been mess all over the place. So that's great for smaller baits as well as big baits. Sitting around twiddling my thumbs all day today. Oh, that was a bite. You see that? Yeah. That was bites. Come on. Get in, yes. Gotta get it in. I've worked hard for this one. Come on, get it in, get it in, get it in. Oh, I've got to get it up, please, 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 please. What's it going to be? Feels like a codling. Oh, I think I'm getting up this like. My arm's aching. What have I got? Ah, is it a codling? It's, I'm so hooked up. Oh, I'll have to get out and get it. I'm getting snagged up with the other line in the panic. Oh yes, get in. Oh, nice one, nice one. Right, I'll come and get you, because I'm all tangled up here. Right, I'm still all fingers and thumbs, and I'm all tangled up. God knows what's going on with me today, but we'll have a fish, which is the thing. So I'm just going to let this sit, cut it out. I think it'll be okay. I'll come and show you. Yes, we got one. Oh, yeah, it's still kicking. So it's size, but I'd rather not keep it. So I'm going to try and let it go. I'll put it into a puddle first. See if I can get it back in alive. Get in, fish. I'm not sure it's going to go back in. There's not much life in that at all. No. No, I think it's had it. Right. I think it's had it. So it's going to come home with me. And I'll have it for some tea. You can see there though, 42. So it's, yeah, it's size. Yum yum. Oh, I thought I was getting bites on the other rod there, but it's not even in the water, is it? Oh, it is in the water. Oh, am I getting bites on that when it's tangled up? Oh. What's happening? Get this untangled. I am, I've got bites, I've got a fish on by the feel of it. Oh man, what a disaster of a day. It feels like there's a fish tugging away and I'm completely tangled. Oh, how do I get this out here? What a nightmare, what a nightmare. Right, is that it? This is how not to fish. I think I might have missed that. It was biting away though. That's a shame I couldn't get that codling back in, but it's the way it goes sometimes. I've basically just been sitting, feeding all of the little worms onto the skewer. So I'll put half of them onto one hook and half of them onto the other hook. Really handy. Oh no, not again. Oh, I told you, one of them days, the weight's just come off again. Oh, what a day, what a day. How not to fish. Oh. Thankfully my bait's still intact. I think what's happened is, I think the breakaway, the rotten bottoms kind of like come loose before, well, as it's casting, and it's just snapped the 30-pound line. Oh. I told you, one of them days. Right, see if I can get this one out with any issues. I wouldn't put money on it, mind, if I was you. That's better. Yeah. What am I like? I'm not usually this bad, am I? Usually pretty organised and everything seems to be, well, it seems to run smoothly usually, but not today. No way, Josie. Is that a fish? Oh, I thought that was a big fish, that like. I was winding away and the spool was just spinning because I hadn't put the drag on. Right, I'm snagged now. Is there a fish on? I'll just give it some slack. See if it comes out. It's a plain lead, so. There's no wonder David's over there fishing by himself. He doesn't want any of my bad luck. I don't blame him. Right, I managed to get that snag out just by letting it some slack line. And when I brought it in, got a tiny little, I think it's a little pollock. That must have been what the bites were. Yeah, just tiny little thing. Still alive. So I'll get that back in. And I'll catch him again when he's huge. Right, I'm going to get some more bait on here. Get that back out. Yeah, so sometimes if you get stuck, and especially if you're using a plain lead, just let a load of slack out and then the movement of the water will roll the lead around and it'll just come out of where it was. And you'll get everything back. It doesn't always work, but it's worth a try. It worked that time. I'm knackered. It's been a long, hard day, but it's been enjoyable too. It's 4:10. I think we'll fish until 5 and then call it a day. I think that'll be long enough. My feet are starting to complain a little bit now. They always do when I've been on the rocks for so long. My knees as well. I think it's just because you're always on uneven surface. Right, come on. Think fish. Think fish. Think like a fish. Wasp attack. Get away. The wasps have loved me the day. And I'm absolutely dying to have a beer tonight. I didn't bring enough liquid with us today, so I'm a little bit dehydrated. I've got some orange in the car. That's in the freezer box in the back of the car, so that should be nice and refreshing. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have a beer tonight. Ooh. That was a nice little bite. It's 2 minutes to 5. Go on, take it. Another fish would be lovely. Come on, come back. I'm not so sure it is. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put this one down and I can get the other one in and leave this out just a little bit longer. Stripped clean again. And I don't know if that's, like I say, the bait. I don't think it's the bait falling off. I think it's crabs or little fish. Oh, that's came away. Right, there's no fish on. So, bites at the last minute, but no last minute fish. Right, that's it folks. Day's over, it's been fun. I had so many mishaps, it was unbelievable. So I hope you enjoyed laughing at all of the goings wrong, shall we say. Things snapping and tangles and all sorts, but at the end of the day, I got a fish. David got a fish. How many did you get in total?
2.
2.
2 little cods.
2 little codling. I had a codling, scorpion fish, little pollock. I think that was it. Did I get another one? I can't remember. But yeah, it's been good. So the one thing I've learned from today is that the baiting needle is a fantastic little tool. So much easier to put the worms on. So I'll always have one of them with us from now on. And if you haven't used one, I would suggest go out and buy one, have a try, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So I'll plan another adventure. I don't know what it'll be. Probably a bit of rock fishing, I would have guessed. But yeah, I'll plan something in. I'll see if I can get another video out next week for you. I hope you've enjoyed. Stay safe, tight lines, and cheers.
All seems a bit strange to me.